What up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Phil Risden here. I'm out at Times Square. I'm actually at the top. I'm at 53rd and 7th right now, or 53rd and Broadway. My bad. But I wanted to make a quick last, walking tour video before the end of the year. You know what I mean? It's coming up. It's here, and I feel like I kind of started this thing, but fell a little behind as I moved into the city. So I wanted to make a final one. And the reason I'm making this is because I also kind of wanted to see what condition Times Square would be in. I literally, the reason I picked Times Square specifically, number one, is because there's tourists and there's nothing like New York City during Christmas time. I will say that, that is a complete fact. But just because this is the one part of Manhattan that actually has people in it. Many people who do not live in New York City do not know what I'm talking about. But New York City is not the city that it once used to be. It's not the city that I moved into, that was cool and fun and unique and hip. Now it's basically just expensive. It's expensive. It's a amusement park for the rich. As you can see, these are all people who can afford to vacation in New York City, and the only place that they choose is the fucking M&M store. All right, the M&M store, Stardust Diner, where people act like they're in the 1950s. This is what this city has turned into. 40 years ago, in this area is nothing but pimps and hookers, which is not a great substitute either. But I feel like there could be a little happy little medium. I think I've told you guys here that I do Uber Eats to make money and stuff. So I know the city a lot. I travel through the city all the time. And I'm telling you, you would think it would be very, very busy around this time because, people are here for Christmas and, all that stuff. And you have all these rich people that are going to tip and blah, blah, blah. No, it's not true. Most of these people are transplants. And really what has happened is they've all kind of moved out of the city. During the holidays, everybody's gone. And listen, I'm from Jersey. I don't judge too much. But the fact of the matter is, it's like if you're staying here in the city, it's primarily a ghost town. Like I'm telling you, there's a lot of people right here, but we're right by like Broadway and stuff. You know what I mean? Like if I was to go to the West Village, it'd be empty. It would be empty. I was in the West Village last night. There's no one there. There's no one there. In fact, I might actually end up making a little video in the West Village tonight, just drinking with whoever's left for Christmas. We'll see. That might be a good idea. I just thought of that now. I'm just having fun though, and we'll see. But I hope you guys like this. I never go to Times Square. I mean, obviously, that's kind of the quintessential, I'm a New Yorker thing is you don't go to Times Square. And you never do. It's overly expensive. It's too crowded. There's just too many people, too many things going on. It's too loud. Everywhere you turn, you're almost about to get hit by a car. It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. But I think there's something kind of a little magical about it during Christmas time. Until you get sick of it. That's that's the thing. If you like Christmas music and all that stuff. Sorry, there's a guy, homeless guy, right next to me with a fucking with a shopping cart that is so fucking loud. I cannot I cannot exaggerate to you how loud that fucking shopping cart is. It's insane. It was rattling in my brain. I was trying to keep up with you guys doing, this podcast or whatever this thing is, but every once in a while, I think it's my ADD brain. I don't know if I smoke too much weed or if I was just born this way, constantly thinking, almost got hit by a car. Do you see what I mean? This is why I never come down here. You have to listen to Jay-Z in the background. I like Jay-Z, but, it's like, pick a deep cut. These people, this is why you never come here. These people are fucking animals. They're goddamn animals. Hoping to go to fucking Happy Socks and Olive Garden. Who wants to go to the Olive Garden in Times Square? You know, it's nothing but like constant nostalgia being regurgitated everywhere, everywhere. Every 2 feet you walk, there's someone playing a viral song from 5 years ago to spark nostalgia while you take 360 pictures. Nobody gives a shit. You know? Bah, humbug. Sorry if I'm being negative. But I feel this. This is one of those things where you're just like, why is this here? Why is this here? People could be living in this area. Why is this here? There's just a giant bench. Just a giant bleacher bench that people sit on. And, it's fucking ridiculous. The street performers everywhere. I don't mind street performers, actually. Look at this guy. He's obviously doing his thing. He's got a little bit of style, actually. That is the one thing. I guess it does give the city character in certain ways. It does build character to see Minnie Mouse, fighting Tails from Sonic the Hedgehog. you know, right? You got Spider-Man, hey, Spidey. So it is good, You gotta find the little pieces of corn within the shit. You gotta find the little pieces of corn within the feces. You know what I mean? But seriously, you gotta keep your head on a swivel. That's why it's actually, you guys think I'm here podcasting or making a YouTube video. I'm actually just walking around, using this as my rear view mirror. There's so many people coming at you from so many different areas. There's nothing you can do. I clearly made a mistake. Hey everybody, we're back, and as you notice, we are not in Times Square anymore, okay? I'm sorry about that, but I tried and I tried and I tried, and I could not stand being in that area anymore. It's too much for me. It's too overwhelming. It's just, I hate it. Too many tourists. No one knows how to walk. So now I'm back to the real New York City, as you can see here. Look at that. Nothing says Merry Christmas like a giant pile of trash. Is there anything more New York at Christmas time than this, I see this and I'm singing Bing Crosby. All right, chestnuts roasting on an open fire. I'm taken there. I am taken back. I am dreaming of a white Christmas, and my white Christmas is mostly black trash bags on the floor. Uh, right now, I am actually in the East Village. And I'm happy to actually be here too, because I wanted to show you guys kind of what I was talking about when I was up in Times Square, in the context of the fact that no one's here. Like, if you see this whole entire street is empty. That's rare. That does not happen in New York. Okay? This does not happen. There's literally no one here. Anybody in any residential part of New York City that is not, South Brooklyn or Queens is essentially gone, because like I said, they're all transplants. Like I said, New York has become an amusement park for the rich and just plain old foreigners, man. And not really like immigrants or nothing like that, but just white kids from Wisconsin. And it's so interesting to see how the city's transformed. I mean, you can see some people in the back. What up, bro? What up? You too, bro. Merry Christmas. You can see some people in the back, some friendly folks, But at the same time, there's just no one fucking here. Dude, usually you're doing this and there's like, I have to, wave through people and, all that different shit. Right now, you're just not dealing with that. But I will say, there is a calmness and honestly kind of like a beauty to hanging out in New York City during Christmas time, and especially like as everybody's left, because the only people that are still here are the true New Yorkers. You know what I mean? And it's nice. You get to hang out with people. Like, I'm actually on my way to a bar right now because it's honestly the only thing open. I'll be real with you. You know, this city has changed so much since COVID and everything, man. Before, no matter what, 24/7, you could come outside and there'd be every restaurant would be fucking open. You know what I mean? Every bar would be open. There'd be all these food trucks and everything. Now, just no. And you know what? Like, while it does hurt, I do understand it. I mean, you got to think about it. All these New York City staples they used to be able to go to during Christmas time, on Christmas Day, you used to just be able to go to some place like Russo's. I don't know if you've ever been to Russo's before, but it is a like Italian kind of bakery, and there's like this place, or no, sorry, not Russo's, the Viniero. We'll go right over here. See, if this was 10 years ago on a Christmas, this place might be closing early. Someplace like Russo's that sells pasta. Someplace like the Pistachieria over here, Viniero. Which is like kind of a bakery place. They do Neapolitan stuff. They do cannolis and all that. They might close early. They might close at like 3. Okay, but it would still be open. And I'm kind of upset about that. But at the same time, these people were sacrificing their whole lives for their business. And I kind of get why, after you have a 3-year break, you don't want to go back to full time, man. Fuck that. And your life is already full time. You don't need to deal with all that stuff, you know? So I 100% get it. It's just kind of a bummer. And even outside of the whole Christmas time thing, stuff just closes earlier, man. It just closes earlier. And, maybe that's just what it is. Maybe I don't know the right places or something like that, you know? Because I'm not in my 20s anymore or anything. I'm not cool enough to know stuff. I mean, shit. If you look over here, I think I got a gray, yeah, that got a little gray hair in the beard. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know where the hot spots are anymore. So maybe that's it. But it is also just a general change. It really is. Um, People, number one, there's just not many people here in general. In general, even during the regular year, I feel like half of these apartment buildings are just empty completely. Like there's just really no one there, and a lot of these landlords are kind of just holding out because they're making so much money off of the few people that are staying in the building that it makes sense to just wait another year or two, until they can get 3 more people to move in, or a couple more apartments filled. Even if it's going to be half empty, you're still going to make more money than if they brought down the rent by $500 for each apartment. Um, so it's kind of it's weird. It's end of an era type stuff. I mean, I feel like half the time now the city is really just a bunch of random viral restaurants that were put on Instagram, and then just McDonald's is everywhere. That's it. You have 2 things. You have the hole in the wall place that used to be a hole in the wall that now has a line down the block, and you have a McDonald's. All right, and all of them are expensive. I know I sound like an old man, but it is quite shocking. It is quite shocking, man. Just look at this. Look at this whole entire. I feel like you guys need, like a better ground view. Look at look over here. There is no one here. There is no one at all. At all. It's almost kind of spooky. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a little weird being in this area specifically right now. Like I told you, I'm in the East Village, but I'm very specifically on St. Mark's and First Avenue. So I'm right here. This is where the magic happens. Okay, you can go 1 block up St. Mark's in between second and third, and that's going to be where you have all the ramen spots. There's a lot of really good like Asian food there. There's a couple really great bars. You come down here, you're gonna have like Criff Dog. There's a nice little speakeasy behind the Criff Dog, located. Nobody told you about that. Keep that a secret between us. It's a dope little spot, and just tons and tons of like restaurants. And usually it's a Monday night, but regardless, even if it was a Monday night, you'd see crowds of people. Dudes dressed as fly as they can be, and a bunch of women in high heels, and they would all be out here shaking in the cold, trying to get drinks, trying to get some food, and trying to figure out what's up for the night. And to see this place as a ghost town, I mean, even look at this. There's fucking no one. There's fucking no one in the street, dude. Kind of peaceful. I'm not gonna lie. They don't like everybody complains about New York City, but it's pretty awesome when it's half empty. It's pretty great when it's half empty. That's why what I was complaining about the whole like, oh, this is for rich people and all that stuff. But I do get it. If you are a rich person and can fully afford New York City, and there's a bunch of just like mentally ill people, there's a bunch of like fucking poor people all over the place asking you for money, trying to hustle you out of things. There's some guy taking a dump in a fountain. You're just like, fuck this, dude. I'm Logan Roy Succession rich. Why do I have to deal with this in a city that's so beautiful? Get them all out. And that's really what they're doing. I don't condone it, but I understand it. I do understand it. Because here's the thing. I feel like people of that ilk, like, you know what I mean? Whether they've built their own wealth or whether they're born into it, they do kind of start taking it for granted and they only see life from their side. They start losing a lot of perspective of other people. And all they see, a lot of these finance guys and stuff, all they see is Manhattan. All they see is their little neighborhood full of other rich people. And they're like, yeah, I wanted to be quieter. Yeah, I wanted to be this and that and blah, 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 blah. I wanted to be safer. And it's like, yeah, we all want it to be safer. We all want it to be a little bit quieter. But at the same time, there's a lot of stuff that the city provides. And a lot of that stuff is based off of people who don't make as much income as rich people. You know what I mean? The whole reason rich people want to be here is because of poor people, because poor people are awesome. You know, they start scenes, they start movements, they start art, they do shit. Rich people just sit around and fucking consume it, suck it dry, and then kick everybody out once the art and the fun isn't as creative and isn't as unique anymore, you know? And they start saying things like, oh, this area is played out. It's like, it's played out because you're here. It's played out because you're here. It's played out because you suck. Okay? It's played out because ever since you got here, every fucking bar wants to turn mimosas from fucking $6 to 18. And lie and say it has Moet in it. It doesn't have Moet in it. You know? Think about it. Every apartment surrounding this park has to be what? At least $3,000 to $4,000, and there's rats running across the pavement. What are This is what I'm saying, man. I feel like everything's just a fucking joke. I love this city, but it's just, you know, think about the cool stuff that so many people made while living here, and think about those people not being able to live here anymore because they made the cool stuff. You know, like you walk to if I ever do a walking tour of the West Village, that place is amazing. It has so much history. I mean, you just on McDougal Street, you have Cafe Wah, which has a history of having, people like Jimi Hendrix and Bob Dylan, Simon and Garfunkel, along with even like really young acts like Richard Pryor and George Carlin. They all did comedy and folk music around each other together in the same places. And not even to mention, also on that street, you had a lot of mobsters, like famous mobsters and stuff, and famous hitmen that lived on that street because it was just a regular neighborhood for the poor, for the regulars, and not even just poor. I'm not even saying just poor, just working class, middle class people, you know, and because of that, there's such a rich history, and there's such a complex and creative like mixture of vibes and styles that have come out just from that area, you know? And once again, because of those vibes, now people like that can't ever hope to live there. And now a bunch of rich people are trying to recreate those vibes, you know, and talk about how, things used to be. And it's like, you were never even fucking here. You were never even fucking here. Uh, but I do like this. This is peaceful. I do have to admit, too, being here is a lot better because, yes, it was annoying. Yes, it was overwhelming to have so many people around me. But it was also, you know, even after 10 years of doing stand-up comedy, I still catch myself feeling nervous sometimes, especially with this, you know, pulling out a camera, talking. Everybody's thinking I'm kind of crazy. They understand what I'm doing, but it's also, too, it's just, we're humans. Seeing somebody just blindly talk into something makes them seem crazy. And being up in Times Square, talking about how everybody in Times Square is a fucking moron, while they can all hear me in Times Square, was a bit nerve-wracking. I did have a couple people looking at me, giving me some death stares. I did have a couple people fist bump me and actually kind of smile, though, too, because they know the deal. They know the deal. They know the deal. You think every dad wants to go to the Krispy Kreme store? No. No. You think every mom wants to go see, The Lion King? Actually, I mean, I heard The Lion King's great, but you know what I mean. She didn't want to spend $6,000 to come to New York from South Carolina, and this is their whole life savings and all this shit and blah blah blah. She wanted to have a good time and cherish each other at the house for free. Man, it's so crazy to see how many places are fully closed. There's a lady in there doing karaoke by herself. We got a couple Asian restaurants. That's the one thing that you can be faithful about in this city is if anything is closed in New York, all the Asian restaurants will be open. The only one closed was Panda Express, which proves that it's not real, authentic Chinese food. There you go. The book is sealed on that one. Everybody knew it was American. We all knew it was the McDonald's of Asian food. But to have it like you're come on. You're basically trying to lie and say that you are Chinese food. So it would behoove you to at least stick with the tradition. Come on, man. If anything, listen, if there's anybody from Panda Express watching out right now, I think, to be quite honest with you, next year, you plan a promotion, right? Everything half off at Panda Express on Christmas Day. I'd go. I'd go with the family. I'd go with the family. And I still look at Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. But I would go. Oh, I would gobble up that orange chicken, I'll tell you right now. You know? So beautiful. Actually, I gotta take you back to a place here. This used to be one of my favorite spots, Cherry Tavern. Sorry, let me bring that camera up there. Cherry Tavern, man. When I started comedy about 12 years ago, I'm 32 now. And I started comedy in 2011, basically, I would say. So about 12 years, maybe like 13 years or something. I don't know math, so I'm probably wrong. You're going to say that in the comments. But when I started doing comedy, I would do comedy at this place, Mug Lounge, that is not too far from here. It's actually the street that I started walking on, except we were on 13th and First. Mug Lounge was on 13th and A, so like it was still on 13th, right on the corner though. But I used to go to Mug Lounge every single Tuesday and Thursday, I believe, to be on this show called UG Comedy Show, Underground Comedy, by a great comedian, Todd Mondesi. I fucking love him. I still hang out with him today. He's a good guy. You might have seen actually some of the videos that me and Todd have been doing recently on my shorts. Everybody's been asking me what you guys are doing, what's up, what is this, what is this. Todd's just doing some man on the street stuff, and I'm an editor and I'm a producer, so Occasionally, when I help edit or produce stuff for other people, I'll still put it on my channel just to get some sort of traction and kind of put some feelers out and see what people on my channel may like from me in the future. And that's kind of what happened. Basically, Todd, he's still doing his real talk thing. But in addition, I'm going to be doing some man on the street stuff myself, along with doing these sort of walk and talk kind of, tours. I guess you can call it a tour, culture tour. Podcasts, doing these, but with people. And the guests that I have will be interviewing other people as well. We'll be doing man on the street stuff with my guest, which would be fun. But back to Cherry Tavern. I spent plenty of nights here. Every time that we would do the comedy show, we would end the night at Cherry Tavern, and I would just get fucked up here. Get so hammered here. Like I said, I'm 32. I've been coming here since I was 18 years old, and it's just kind of a bit of a blast from the past because I'm never really. I spend so much time in Brooklyn. I spend so much time in Queens. I don't spend that much time in Manhattan. So it's a bit of a blast from the past to see this place, and unfortunately now it's closed down. It's not just because of Christmas either. I've seen that gate for the last week now, so I'm starting to think that it lost the battle. It lost the battle with the landlord, as a lot of businesses and a lot of people have lost. But it is what it is. I had some good times there, and just gotta appreciate it for what it is, man. New York, like I obviously you've heard me complain tons and tons about New York City, but I will say it's still a home to me. It's still a place that I absolutely love. I absolutely adore. And if you open your heart to it, it can do a lot of things for you and show you a lot of different stuff. I've had so many great experiences here, just with different people, friends, family, and you know, honestly, it's been that place. I've lived here as an adult my whole adult life, and it's the place where a lot of my friends became family. You know, where you really like. I have been on top of the world here, and I have been down bad, like. And you know what? In between both of those situations, I've had a lot of the same people in my life, and I really do thank God for that, and I thank honestly just life and the universe and my experiences because I know how hard it is to find true, authentic people in this world, man. There's a lot of people who just want to be with you for who you know or what you can do, especially in the industry that I'm in, comedy and entertainment and all that stuff. So when you find real ones, you got to really appreciate it. And on that note, guys, I'm going to say goodbye because I just got to the one bar that's open, International Bar. Good times. I've had plenty of good times here, and I'm going to have another good time right now. See you later. Peace.